how God supernaturally paid off my car. That is the topic of today's video, and I'm giving you guys this testimony because God told me to. I was a little shy and I didn't want to start talking about these testimonies and how God has moved in my life after coming out of the wilderness. But I know that this is meant to encourage people, to show people that there is a promised land. We read about it in the word, and we read about the children of Israel going from the wilderness and stepping into the promised land. But I had someone put a comment on one of my videos, on my Waiting on the God in the Wilderness video. If you guys haven't checked it out, go back and check it out. It is needed and necessary. But she basically said, it feels so good, and I'm so excited that I'm able to watch a video of someone who came out of the wilderness. And how many times do we hear about people talking about the wilderness, but do you ever see someone that comes out of it? And so I'm in a place where I was in the wilderness season. I was in the season of lack. I was in the season of not knowing what was going to happen in my life. People are like, but what did God say? And you stepped out. And first of all, let me say this. I worked a six-figure job. How many people God told you to leave your job? I was working in a six-figure job and God told me to leave. And when I left, things were going good, but then God began to process me. And that's where it goes into this video, in this testimony video, on how God supernaturally paid off my car. Now, just to give you guys some background information, I've had my car for a while, but I heard the Lord tell me that he would pay off my car. Now, I'm in this wilderness season. How many of you are in the season where maybe you don't know how you're going to pay your bills? You don't know how you're going to pay your car. You don't know how you're going to pay your house. But I was in this place where I didn't know what was going to happen. And I live in the suburbs, and with me without a car, it's impossible for me to go anywhere. But I just had to tell myself, like, no, I believe God. I trust God. I know that he will make a way out of no way. And I would say these things to myself. And then I got to a place where I started to have such high faith, almost delusional faith, that I just started to say, you know what, God is going to take care of this. I was in a place where, I mean, looking around, it looked like they were going to come and take my car at any moment. But again, I was being obedient, and I was obedient to what God said, what he told me to do, and I believed in what he said would happen. So for those of you who are watching, like, you got to get, if you are in that season of the unknown, a season of lack, a season where you don't know what's going to happen, you got to lean on God. And I hate to say it, you got to become almost a little bit delusional. I mean, that's the truth. I fully just connected, and I just went to God in prayer, and I said, God, I'm about to put this in your hands. I'm about to say that you told me to leave my job. You told me to launch all this stuff. You told me to do everything. And all I can do is place this in your hands. And I went to him in prayer, and I cried out, and I said, Lord, I cannot do this. And I placed it in his hand, and I just went about my life. I was delusional. Like, I knew that God would handle it at some point. I didn't know when. And the crazy part is, I never lost my car. It was never repoed. No one ever came and took it. But this is the funny part. This is when the supernatural part comes in. So I'm in this place where I hadn't paid my car for maybe 6 months. That's how you know it's God. I hadn't paid my car for like 6 months. I was making payments and partial payments for a while, but then I hadn't paid my car in like 6 months. And I was in this place where there was a mix-up or something, you guys. Like, there was a mix-up. And somehow, some way, I still owed on my car, but they accidentally sent me my lease. Not my lease, my title. I think it's called a title. They accidentally sent me the title of to my car. And I get my title in the mail, and I'm like, I didn't pay off my car. And so I get my title in the mail, and I'm just like, what is going on? And then, I mean, I'm in delusional Delulu world. I'm in delusional Delulu world. So I'm not about to call them and say, hello, did you accidentally send me my title? No, I'm not going to call you and ask you this. So I just went on with my life because I'm living in this delusional. Now, I'm not delusional to the point where I'm letting things pile up, but I'm delusional to the point where I've gone and I put it in God's hand, and it is what it is. Sometimes you have to address some things. But after you've done all you can, you just stand. And I was just standing at this point. Like, look, you got to show up at some point. Now, mind you, my son is in school. I have to take him to school. I have to pick him up. He has basketball. He has all these things. So me without a car, it's not good. So I get my title, and I'm like, okay, I don't know what's going on. And maybe like a couple of months later, you guys, I kid you not, if I can give you screenshots, I don't know if I have screenshots from my car. I mean, I have my title. That's the biggest screenshot of them all. But I don't, for everything else in the other testimony videos that I'm going to do, I do have screenshots to show you like how God showed up. but I don't think I have anything for my car except for the actual title. And then after about a month, my entire car was removed from my credit report. Supernaturally removed, supernatural debt cancellation. Let's just say that. He just canceled the debt on my car because now I own my car because I have my title. You can't come and take my car because I have my title. So I have my title, and then like a month later, a month or two later, I can't remember how often or what happened, but now it's completely removed off my credit report. And it's been months now, and it's still off my credit report. And in this place, this is where God supernaturally paid for my car. He gave me my title so that I have ownership. I no longer have a lease. And it's off my credit report. It just completely disappeared. So I'm in a place right now where I no longer have a car note. And my car note was like $400 because I had my car for a while. So I had a $400 car note that I no longer have anymore. And this is what God is going to do in the kingdom. He's going to start to remove debt. He's going to start to cancel things. He's going to start to get things out of the way, because then you won't have any bills. Like, you're going to get to a place, trust me. The Lord told me he would pay off my house. Now, he just paid a hefty, I think next week's video is my house. How he really came through on my home. But he told me he was going to pay off my house. So just imagine, you don't have a car note. Your house is paid off. Your bills are paid up months in advance. You really have no choice but to sow into the kingdom. You really have no choice but to help God's people. And I know for me, God has placed it on my heart to help single moms. And that's what he has me doing right now, is to really help single moms who he told to leave their jobs or who do not have a job. So as you can see, this is where the kingdom is going to advance, because God is going to remove the debt of these cars, of these houses, and all these things, but you have to maintain it. Let me put that out there. He's going to start to remove these debt, and you're just going to be able to live life just in a way that people have never imagined. Wow. I'm getting a headache while talking about this, you guys. Like, all of this never hurts, but I'm feeling like pain here. So we just going to rebuke any pain that the enemy is trying to come throw my way to stop telling these testimony videos. So anyway, so yeah, that is how God supernaturally paid off my car. My next video is going to be how he really has just blown my mind with my house. And I think I have more bills on like all of my bills, and I think it's one more, but I can't remember what the other one is. But this is my story on how God supernaturally paid off my car. I don't have a car note. I only need liability insurance. So the number of bills and my finances have decreased tremendously. So it's just, this is what we can look for. This is what it looks like. This is what it feels like. This is why you cannot give up, because the Bible says, after you have suffered for a little while. Now, it may seem like longer than a little while, because it was longer than a little while, I'm going to tell you that. But this is what it feels like, what it looks like when they go from being in the wilderness. Think about the wilderness. You don't know, it's unknown. You don't know what to expect. You go from being in the wilderness to stepping out into the promised land, the place of rest, a place of peace, the land flowing with milk and honey, the place like abundance, prosperity, like helping and sowing and all of these things. If you faint not, if you do not faint, if you do not give up, if you keep on pushing, if you keep on going, this is what you can expect. This is when God begins to say, okay, my good and faithful servant, let me show up and show you. Let me show you who I really am. Let me show you Jehovah Jireh. So that's what it is, y'all. This is where we are. And this is what God is doing in this season for those who do not give up. Don't give up in the wilderness. Don't give up on what God has told you to do. That ministry, that business, those books, whatever God told you to do it. And do it as to the best of your ability. Whatever God told you to do, step out the boat. Like, this is what's on the other side. And I've been telling people that you don't really see people go through what they went through, and then they tell you, this is what I went through, and this is what happens, and this is what's on the other side. It's very rare that you see it. But I know God is using me to show people what it looks like, what it feels like, and what happens when you make it through that processing and get to the other side. Now, I want to let you guys know that I am actually making a new course, How to Survive the Wilderness. It's not ready just yet, but I want to see how many people are interested before I go and create this course. So I'm going to put the link here to sign up so that you are up to date on what's going on with my ministry. My ministry is actually Journey to the Kingdom. So if you would be interested in surviving the wilderness, how to navigate the wilderness, how to get in and out of the wilderness. We know that they were in the wilderness longer than it should have taken. It should have only been a 10-day journey. But they were in the wilderness, wandering in the wilderness, and the Lord is using me right now to help people navigate the wilderness so that you are not in there wasting time, distracted, giving up, and dying in the wilderness. But you have the keys to the kingdom, the tools that you need to get to a place where you are not wandering and wasting time in the wilderness. This is going to be surviving in the wilderness, and I just want to get an idea how many people are interested. So if you are, I'm going to put the link in the description box and in the comments. You can just sign up. You don't need to do anything, but it'll give me an idea, and you will be the first to know about what's going on and when the course will be released. So if you're someone where you know you are trying to go from the wilderness to the promised land, that land flowed with milk and honey, and you want more information, click the link. Make sure you subscribe to my channel to stay up to date. I'm going to be putting videos out with different testimonies every week. So turn on the notification bell. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. And yeah, this is my story. This is my testimony. I was a little afraid because I didn't want people to think that I was like boasting. But I mean, I'm boasting in God. I'm going to tell you that I am boasting in God. But I didn't want people to think that I was boasting. But I know God told me, no, people need to have hope. People need to know that it's possible. People need to know that it is something. And you guys can go look at my old videos. Like, you can probably see the difference in me maybe a year ago. So I'm excited because it has been a long journey. It has been 3 years for me of just walking with God, holding his hand. And when I say it does not take long for you to find your purpose, it does not take long for you to grow and learn how to hear God's voice. If you want to grow deeper, you can go to jtkuniversity.com and check out my Journey to the Kingdom University. It will help you grow in your walk with God. So there'll be 2 links to sign up for Surviving the Wilderness. And if you want to check out my university, you can do that as well. Just keep going, you guys. Don't give up. Don't let go of his hand. Keep pushing and keep trusting God. And my biggest advice is to become delusional. Not delusional to where you just forget about all your problems, but delusional to the point where it just increases your faith so much that you believe whatever God says. I'm excited, and I'll see you guys in the next video.